This is the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
Now, this morning, we have some big news out of the Archdiocese of Newark. Last Friday, Pope Leo XIV appointed a new auxiliary bishop, and it's a historic moment. For the first time ever, the U.S. has a Nicaraguan-born bishop. He's a man with a heart for the church, a background in counseling, and a deep love for ministry. He has served young people, the deaf community, and most recently has served as the rector of Newark's beautiful Cathedral Basilica of the Sacred Heart. And now he's preparing for a brand new mission as a bishop. Joining us live this morning is Bishop-Elect Father Pedro Bismarck Chau. Your Excellency, thanks so much for joining us here on Morning Air and Relevant Radio. It is such a joy to be with you for the first time.
Thank you, and good morning, all. What a beautiful introduction. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It is my joy to welcome you to our show. And first of all, congratulations. What a big and historic moment for you. How did you find out about your appointment from Pope Leo XIV?
Very interesting. Well, I knew about the appointment Tuesday of Holy Week, April 15, and I said I will never forget that day because of tax day, right? But that's when I received the phone call from the Apostolic Nuncio to tell me that Pope Francis had appointed me Auxiliary Bishop for the Archdiocese of Newark. So it is interesting that, as you already know, our beloved Pope Francis died that Monday, April 21st. So I know since then, and when I received the phone call, it was shocking. I was speechless. I had no idea what to respond, what to do, what to say. So I took my time, and the nuncio was really kind because he heard it in my voice, most likely, that I was nervous. And he said, take your time. Take your time. So I prayed and reflected quickly, and I accepted, because when God calls you, he calls you. How can I say no to God? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was thinking in my heart. And so I accepted right away the appointment.
I will call you Your Excellency because you will soon be a bishop, and of course that is the appropriate greeting to bishops in our Catholic tradition. But I'm just curious, what went through your mind when you reflected back to your priesthood? After all, you've really only been a priest, for a relatively short period of time, going back to 2008, and here you are being made a bishop.
Yes, to be honest with you, John, that day specifically, I was so busy with meeting with individuals. I was at a meeting when I received the call, and then I had other 3 more meetings to attend, personal meetings with other people. I had no time. I did not have time to reflect, to digest it until later that afternoon. And I felt in our heart, the priesthood is a call, right? A vocation. And so becoming an auxiliary bishop, for me, I see it as a call within a call. And so it's challenging, and I like to be challenged. I like to take on challenges for the glory of God, of course, for the growing of the kingdom of God. So to me, it was like, wow, the Cardinal Tobin, my brother priests, that put my name out there, to be to nominate me as well. Wow, they see in me something. I said that I sometimes don't even look at, right? And to me, that was so powerful to feel that my brother priests and many lay people who wrote on my behalf for my qualifications thought I would be a good man for the job. And if they think that, I'm sure God does too. And so who am I to say no to that call? And so it was powerful. It was very, very humbling, I have to tell you, to reflect on that they see me as a capable man for the job. And so it is humbling. It is that's the only word that comes to my mind, humbling to see how my fellow priests and the people of God see me. So it was powerful. It was very powerful.
Your Excellency, how does it feel to be one of the first bishops appointed by Pope Leo? I believe you were the actual second bishop here in the U.S. appointed by our new Holy Father.
That is correct. I learned that from some of the platform media that was saying that I was the second appointment. that Pope Leo had made in the United States. So I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. This is amazing. I said, not only I was probably in my head, I'm thinking I'm probably one of the last appointments that Pope Francis made, and I'm one of the first appointments that Pope Leo XIV made as well, right? It's really a proud moment for myself and a blessing. I don't know, it's really special. I see like little gifts it's giving me. I see them like that. Just the same thing as being the first Nicaraguan-born appointed bishop in the United States. That in itself was like another gift, not only for me, but for the entire Nicaraguan community in the United States and in Nicaragua as well. You have no idea how many messages I've received from priests and people that I don't even know. I reconnected with family members I have never met. And they say, are you our cousins? Are you our cousins? Yes, we are. We are related. And it's been, these few days have been overwhelmingly beautiful.
It is historic. I mean, because there's never been a Nicaraguan-born bishop in the U.S. What does this moment mean for you personally and for the persecuted Nicaraguan Catholic Church that has had to suffer so much in recent years?
In speaking with Bishop Silvio Baez, he's Auxiliary Bishop of Managua, exiled in Miami. We have good communications, and in speaking with him, as he called me to congratulate me, he said, Bismarck, your appointment by Leo XIV is like a balm. It's a balm for the wounded church and the wounded country of Nicaragua, the wounded people of Nicaragua. And when he said that, it was like, God is bringing a little joy. God is bringing a little comfort and consolation by your appointment to the people of Nicaragua. When he said that, wow, that is amazing, that God is almost telling the people of Nicaragua, in exile and in Nicaragua itself, I am still with you. I am still with you. And I've said in many other interviews, when it comes to persecution, Christ said it. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you too. So which means that the church is doing the right thing in Nicaragua, right? If we were not, we will be fine. We will be at peace. But we must be doing something good. The word of God is being preached. The poor is being served. The truth is being spoken. And hence comes persecution. To have received those words from Bishop Silvio Baez were really powerful for me, and I will take that as a gift from God as well in this appointment.
Your Excellency, as you reflect on your priesthood, why did you become a priest of Jesus Christ in the first place?
Well, as you all know, vocation, it's a call. It's a vocation. It's a call from the Lord. I came to the United States when I was 16 years old in 1984. I am 57 years old, by the way, not 61. That was the wrong information that was put out there. But when I came, I come from a very Catholic family. I was raised by my mom with 7 of us in Nicaragua. And so before I turned 17 years old, my mom thought, I need to send you away because I don't want you to go to the military service, mandatory military service in Nicaragua. The situation wasn't that great then either. And so I came to the United States illegally, crossed the border. So I know what my brothers and sisters in a different way, perhaps, probably in a lesser dangerous way, know what they go through as they cross the border. I connect with them very well in that sense and pray with them. The Lord used that, bringing me to the United States, I guess, to form me, because it was not until I was about 19 years old that I had a conversion. I stopped going to church because I started working since I was 17 years old to help provide for my family, I completed my GED as I worked and continued working. And I forgot about God, really. I wasn't praying. I wasn't going to Mass. But my brother back in Nicaragua had a conversion as well and attended a youth retreat, and he would write to me the experiences that he's had and so forth. And, I said, oh, that's great. But when he came to the United States, the first thing he wanted to do was to go to Mass, and I lived right behind the church, St. Mary's Church in Brooklyn, and I never attended Mass. So when he came, we went. And I remember walking into that church for the first time in many, many years. And I said, Lord, I'm back. And from that moment on, I started going to church with him, and I was invited to a youth retreat, and that's when my conversion happened. And from then on, I became involved in the parish, involved in youth ministry, leadership, and so forth. And I met a young deacon, Father now Russell Governale, a Franciscan conventual. And when he came down to the basement where we were gathered in prayer group to visit, I saw myself in him. I thought I was going crazy, but I did see myself in him. I'm like, what is this? God, what are you telling me here? And from that moment on, I blame him for my vocation, by the way. That moment on, I began to discern if God was really calling me to the priesthood. So speaking with priests, attending vocation retreats and so forth. And I really, really felt that that's what God wanted from me at that moment. And I was willing. I really was, because I truly felt that that's what God wanted. Unfortunately, I was undocumented still at that time. So I couldn't enter. Not that I couldn't, they were offering me to help me to obtain my green card. But I've heard stories of guys in the Diocese of Brooklyn going into seminary, getting their green card, and then leaving. So I said, but Lord, if this is not for me when I go into seminary, and these people help me get the green card, and I leave, I'm going to look like one of those men who use the system. And I said, you know what? I'll wait. So lived my life normally, dated, still involved in charismatic renewal, leadership formation, and so forth, until I moved to New Jersey. And then I remained connected with the charismatic renewal leadership of Brooklyn. And I was invited to a conference in San Diego. And I heard the vocation story of this priest who had studied law, practiced law for 5 years, but yet he felt that he needed to do something else. And that's how I felt. I had a great job. I had my car, my apartment. By then, I was already a legal resident, so God was telling me, okay, it's time. And in that priest's vocation, that's why it's so important for priests to give their vocation story to young people, because I related to him. And that weekend, when I returned to my parish, I spoke with my pastor, and that same day, he did not wait. He picked up the phone and called the vocations office.
And the rest is history. Now you're preparing to be ordained as Auxiliary Bishop of the Archdiocese of Newark in September. What are you looking forward to the most, Your Excellency?
The party, of course. Not just getting my family, being with my family, being able to celebrate with my family and the entire people of Newark, people that have supported me, people who have formed me into who I am today. I think that's the most exciting part that I'm looking forward to.
And you'll be able to use your English and your Spanish in your new assignment as bishop.
Yeah, English and Spanish, especially at Hudson County. And there's a big population of deaf community in that area too, so I'm blessed for that as well. So I'll be able to continue to service them as well. Your Excellency, muchísimas gracias, as they say in Espanol. Thank you so much for joining us. Un placer.
Like what you just heard? Share it with your family and friends. And thanks for listening.